Hello everyone, good afternoon. So my name is Harsh and we are presenting MatchPads part sprint part 2. So as you all as first sprint I mentioned that what is MatchPads? It's a unique platform that allows users to create profiles for their pets. So we have many applications to meet friends like Facebook, Instagram, but for the pets there is very less and we are creating one for them specially. So what we are doing is we are creating a application where the owner of the pets can create their profile and find some suitable some other friends for their pets so they can hang out together. And so what will be the features of our application is like login, register. User can swipe pet's profile. If the match user can, if the both profile are agree, then they can chat with everyone. They can manage their own profile and they can review the profile as well. So these are the basic features that we are providing in our application. So like I said, we are not the first one. We try to implement this idea. There are some others as well. So these are the other competitors. But as you can see on the pictorial that not all are have the same features that we are providing. So what we have did it like we have analyzed all those applications and tried to make them a unique application that contain all the features that other applications are providing. So what was our goal for Sprint 2? As we distinguished the 13 user stories in our application. So in Sprint 1 we implemented 6 user story, but so here we are at Sprint 2 we implement all the user stories. So these are this Sprint 1. This all work was done in Sprint 1. So here we at Sprint 2 we implemented all this user story. We take feedbacks of the professor as well as our teammates to what we can improve in our first initial sprint. So now the next user story will be explained by Happy. So go ahead, Happy. Hello.
Sorry.
Oh,
Hello everyone. So these all are the user story for this print 2, and the first one is for the swipe profile. So as a user I want the ability to view pet's profile whenever I click on its card, so that I can gain more information about the pets, like its category, its name and its type. Acceptance criteria for these user stories. Given I can view pet's profile, when I click on the profile, then I can collect more information about that pet as much I needed. The next user story for this print 2 is potential match. uh, in this user story, I want to find all available pets based on my location and other specific requirements, like its breed, color, height and so on, so that I can interact with other pets owner whenever I want. Acceptance criteria. Given I have allowed access my location whenever when I filter my requirements, then I should be able to find all pets that as per my requirement. The next user story is profile update. In this user story, when I want to update my pet's profile so that I can show its category and photos to the other users. Acceptance criteria for the update profile is, given I am logged on to the application, when I update my pet's profile, then I should be able to show that updation to all other users. So next user story for this print 2 will be explained by the Prabjot.
Hello everyone. Now I explain the match user story. In this story, as a user, I want whenever the owner of pet's profile, which I selected previously by swiping right, they also selects my profile. I should be able to chat with them so that we can set up a meet and In this user story, there is a acceptance criteria is given. I can match my profile with others. When I like someone's profile and that user also like my profile, then I should be able to settle up a meet for my pet for hanging out with that pet. And the next user story is uh, chat with matched profile. In this user story, as a user, I want to text with other user who like my profile and I also like their profile so that I can chat with them, communicate with them, and so that our pets will meet and hang out with each other. And in this user stories, there is the acceptance criteria is given. I can chat with others when I like someone profiles, then uh, that user also like my profile, then I can communicate with them for future meets. And the next user story is review profile. In this user story, as a user, I review other profile which I liked previously, and I want to check other profiles details like its name, description of pets, and brief information so that I can decide to like or dislike their profiles. And acceptance criteria is given I am logged again logged on to the application. When I can check other profile details, then I should be able to decide to like or dislike profiles. Now, the other one is explained by Rahul.
No,
Yes, I will thank you. Thank you, Prabhjot. I will take it from here. So this is the task distribution. So we couldn't meet the all the requirements that we decided we will meet, but we can do the further work. But we have created the base application so that if anyone wants to contribute from the other from the community, they can contribute. So we have the base like the chat application, chat match, and the like everything. So we have the base for the application, but if someone wants to implement something else like the super like from the Tinder or the video call, so they can implement it. So these are we have for task distribution. We tried to use the Jira, but it was too complicated for us. So we went with the GitHub task distribution. So it always it syncs our commits with the features and the user stories. So it was very great. So these are the, as you can see, these are the commits on the right side, which is done, and to do. There is some functionality is left, is add block functionality and add filter, more filter preferences like the location and the location range. Next slide, please. So for the database authentication, we have used Firebase, and we are continue using Firebase because it's more secure. We find it more secure, more easy to use because it has the built-in functions and it has very built-in APIs. So we don't have to implement our own functions, and we don't have to implement that when will be user is not authenticated and all. So it was very easy to use. So we use the database for the authentication. We use the Firebase. Next. Yeah, so this is the database design. So I would like to talk about more on this database here. So at first we are using the pets as parents and pet types of the child. Like instead of this IDs, we are using the types of the pet. Like if I have a dog, then if there is a pet is parent and dogs, and cats were the child, and inside of cats there is profile of cats, and inside of dogs there were profile of dogs. But as soon as we went further, as soon as we went to the match functionality and the chat functionality, we decided I we found that very hard to debug the code, and so we changed to the simpler design. We thought user as a whole entity instead of the two entity like the dog and cats, and we have had one simple parameter like type is equal to dog or type is equal to cat. So this is our database design. And next. So, and this is the chat database design. So it was like this, like we have, as soon as the user matches, we were creating this one match UID, and with the chat UID. And as soon as the user creates one message, so it will store the created by user ID and the text in one chat. So the main ID for the like iPhone MYICSAU, it is the one chat ID. So it will consist all the messages from the users. So this is the chat hierarchy. So if there is new match, then new ID will be created. And in if someone sends the message, so inside of that match, that ID, the new ID will be created with the two parameters for the created by the users and the text. Yeah. Next.
So sir, this is a use case diagram of our application. So it's mainly one is user and one is admin, and we have this is a functionality that a user are able to do, and this is the activity diagram of the user. So this was like we didn't implement a class diagram because we are using Firebase. It's a classless diagram. It's a classless database. So instead of that, we just put all the schema of the database here. So what went well in this sprint? Like we first we implement a UI that is basic. Then we try to convert it into a material UI. So it was really good for us, and matching a profile and that logic. It was very. It was like very beautiful, very creative for us because we have to match dog with dogs and cat with cats with by accepting other criteria as well. So, and we faced a lot of problems in this sprint as well because like implementing material UI, it was like difficult for us. Main difficulty was like to implement real-time chat and find potential match as well. It was a little bit complicated. And another main problem we are facing was like for our hardware. So the Android Studio is very difficult to use on our laptop, or like if we have to use multiple emulator, we find a lot of problem in that as well. So yeah, this was all. Now, if you have any question, you feel free to ask me, or I will just kind of show the demo. Sure. So Rahul will show the demo.
Yeah, but here I would like to have I had also some problems with the application. So for the material UI as a beginner, I found it very hard to implement the material UI. So, and the second was the Firebase actually. This is out of context, but this was not a PPT, but I want to talk about my problems. So in the Firebase, there is a term called spaghetti code. I found the term on the Stack Overflow. So spaghetti code means that you have to write the long line. If you have a child after the many hierarchies inside the tree, inside the child, there is one message if you want. Then you have to write the code to get all the, yeah, it was very hard. So it was very hard to debug for me. So it was problem for me to implement that functionality. Yeah, and so I can show my code right now and the demo. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, sir. So can you see my screen? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. So this is our code, and first of all, we'll start with the main activity. So it is just a basic activity with the if the user want to go into settings, matches, logout, etc. And the one we are talking about that we implement the basic functionality of the activity, which was this edit profile, and then Prabhjot and AP suggested us to another design. So we implemented this activity by profile. So yeah, this is material UI. So I'll start the demo of the application. So yeah. So I have some technical difficulties running the emulator. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, I can send you the video of the